Let's reset for a new month. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we are going to be resetting for a new month. What we're going to do is, since it's the tail end of January, we're going to talk about basically how January went and how I am prepping for February. So if that is of interest to you, then please keep watching. As always, I have already done a dedicated February budget video, so if you want to see how we set up our budget for February, check out that video. And I have also already completed a February monthly plan with me video. So if you want to see how I set up my planner for February, then check out that video. But for now, we're basically just going to start with talking about how we did with our finances for the month of January. As many of you may know by now, we are embarking on what we're calling a low buy for 2024. Basically, we spent a bunch of money in 2023, and I'm not surprised that we have nothing to show for it, because when I say that, what I mean is if you came to search our house for items that might total how much we spent in 2023, you would not be able to do that, because we do not spend our money on things, but rather experiences. So we're trying to get better at that in 2024. I don't know, we love an experience, trying new things, inviting people that we know and love to do it with us. We cover the cost of it a lot of the times. That's just something that we're into. I just feel like that's what life is about, and sharing is caring. And so that's where a lot of our money typically goes. That's where a lot of it went in 2023. So we're trying to do better in 2024. So let's talk about if we are off to a good start or not. Okay, so for our goals for January, I have some things on here that I basically just take with me from month to month, because they're things that eventually I would like to do, but at whatever point. So it doesn't actually have to be in any given month, but so some of these things we have not accomplished, and if you've been here a while, then you know why, because we actually aren't working that hard to accomplish them, but they are things that we do want to accomplish eventually. I did not pay for nor schedule my clinical exam. We did actually save $2,000. We actually saved way more than that, just because January was a good month. Now, interestingly enough, I only got one paycheck, because I got my first paycheck. That normally I get 2 paychecks per month, but the one that I would have gotten at the beginning of January, I actually got at the end of December. They basically paid us the money early. I don't really know why that is, unless it has to do with the office being closed, since I work for the public school system, so we were off of work for a good bit. I think that break was like 2.5 weeks or so. I don't really know what the deal is with that, but I did only get one paycheck in the month of January, but we still did pretty good, because YouTube, it was a good month for YouTube. My husband got a bonus, all of that kind of stuff. We did invest 15% of our paychecks. We did pay our monthly credit card bill. We did not register our truck, go to the chiropractor, schedule OBGYN, add trucks to our auto insurance, nor did we save $245 for our sinking funds yet. So I don't really know what the plan actually was going into the month, but that's because my friend didn't really know the plan. So each month, let me try this again. Each January, we normally go on a little girls trip kind of thing. It's not actually a girls trip, but my best friend has a birthday in January, and she invites her 2 closest gal pals to go wherever she wants to go. Like, let's say she says, I'm celebrating my birthday in Miami, then that's, if we want to celebrate with her, then that's where we go. It's just a thing. So she didn't really know where she was going to go. She didn't know if she was going to come here, if this was going to be the meeting spot, if we were going to go to her friend's house in Richmond, or if we were going to go to her. So that was pretty much last minute. Again, I don't really know. I had a plan for how much I wanted to spend, but I didn't really know how it was all going to pan out. The weather also wasn't that great, which we'll talk about. So that was also a contributing factor regarding us maybe not potentially celebrating there. More of the story is we did end up celebrating there. I did go. And so what I decided to do is to, instead of saving for sinking funds, I would actually use that money for the trip. And we'll talk about how much I spent from that in a minute. So technically not, but we did save so much that I could. I don't know. We'll have to see it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because our sinking funds are very particular. We need to be saving for them, but it's not any huge thing. I did not sign up for BarkBox. I did turn in my mileage. My husband is in grad school, so we did pay his college tuition. We did pay our HOA fees. I did buy my friend a birthday gift. I did stick to my trip budget. Another one of my close friends is a newer mom, and her son did turn 2 in January, and so if I were going to be, I didn't know if there was going to be a party, I was going to go and take a gift like I did the year before. And then I still was going to get him a gift, but it honestly just kind of slipped my mind. So I didn't actually end up buying him one as of yet. I did add some new things on here that you wouldn't have seen because this is a fluid document and I update things as the month goes on. We ended up needing front brake pads and rear brake pads for our RAV4, so we got those. I did want to purchase a new motor head for my Dyson, which we'll talk about. Didn't do that. I did get a speeding ticket and I needed to pay it in January, so I did do that. And then also our windshield cracked further in January and I wanted to get it replaced, but it's not pressing, but it needs to happen. So I think I'll wait until February, but I added that on here because I did start getting quotes in January, but I don't think realistically we'll be able to get it done until this weekend, and that'll be February. So it's going to then become a February to do. Those are all of our goals and tasks and financial to-dos that we had for January. Let's talk about where our money actually went. We paid our gym membership at $59. We paid our car payment, which was $314.34. Our electricity bill was $152.38. Cable was $40. Pest control was $50.60. Internet was $80.30. Mortgage was $1,611.23. Water/sewer came in under. I budgeted $75. It came in at $70.72, which means that it is $4.28 under budget. For my student loan, we paid $473. Ooh, that just reminds me. I need to resubmit our income info because by the end of this month, I think is what the due date is. Maybe it's February, the beginning of February, to see if we still are going to have to pay $473.97. That's based on our income. So our income hasn't changed really since last year. So I'm assuming even if I submit it, I'm still going to have to pay a similar amount. So it's really not, I mean, I'm going to do it, but I'm not expecting this to go down a whole ton. But what I did remember is that my husband, so we had the COVID forbearance where we didn't have to pay our student loans. Then this time last year, maybe around this time last year, my husband learned that he would have to get a master's degree. Basically, he would need to get a certain certificate, do a certain certificate program, like a training program, or get a master's degree. And so to continue on with all of his career endeavors. And so what we decided on is just him getting a master's degree, because that would make him more employable in the future, no matter where he wants to go, if he gets a master's degree in a similar field than to what he got his bachelor's degree in, which is something that he was interested in. Plus it comes with a pay raise, and the other certificate training program does not. We were in the COVID forbearance where we weren't paying his student loans because we didn't have to. And then he enrolled in grad school. And when he did, I think his first semester, he was full-time. And that's when we remembered that if you're a full-time student, you don't have to pay your student loans. But now he's a part-time student. So we actually do have to pay his student loans. So we have to pay his student loans. So we had to pay his minimum payment in January, which was $73.42. A lot lower than mine, but remember, his student loans are almost paid off. So that's why, by almost paid off, I mean from where the balance started to what we've paid down in the last several years is way down from where he first started. That's why his payment is so low. But I remember, because I went to log in and I was like, oh, it just dawned on me. They're saying your bill is due. That's because you're not enrolled full time. So we did pay that. And then for Amazon Music, we paid $16.99. Security for our home, $52.14. Life insurance, $42.19. Pets insurance, $61.05. Netflix, $11.99. Phone bill for my husband, $130.86. Mine is paid up until April, and his will be paid up for another 3 months. and we have Mint Mobile. And then also that brings us to shopping. So we budgeted $1,200, where we were attempting to spend, I think, $500 on food and groceries and $150 eating out. And we had broken that $1,200 down into, we had given the areas that would be covered under the shopping budgets within that larger budget. So we did excellently sticking to shopping as far as that goes. Excellently, superb. I couldn't be more proud of us. I think we only went over budget like $300, and that's because, I'll talk to you about it in a minute, but that was because of one particular expense that we had that I didn't really budget for. We'll talk about it in a minute. And then otherwise though, we had to get the front and brake pads, the brake pads replaced. That was hundreds of dollars. And then one of the reasons why we went over budget is because the amount that I actually ended up spending on the trip was a little bit more than what we were planning to spend for our sinking fund. So I had to take that out of, that had to be taken from the shopping budget technically. And then also the major reason why we're over budget too is because I had a speeding ticket that I got in January that I had to pay. So wasn't really planning on doing that, which is kind of tragic because it says, I just paid it today, which is insane. But it says, first of all, I was 2 feet from making the right turn to where I was going. And it says I was going over budget. I was going over, I think he put like 9 miles per hour or something. Tragic, just a travesty, but whatever. Had to pay that, can't get out of it. And then also, oh, we bought Lil Wayne tickets. So I know what you're thinking. Don't you buy Lil Wayne tickets every year? Probably. Yes, I've seen Lil Wayne. I would need hands and feet to count the amount of times that I have seen Lil Wayne in concert. But I really tried really hard. I need y'all to understand, when the tickets went on sale, unbeknownst to me, how would I know when tickets are going on sale, when a tour is happening? I have no intel. I just want you to know, I really tried really hard to not buy these tickets. I even waited 48 hours to sit with it, to think, Shay, do you need to go? Like, I went through this whole thing, but I ended up buying the tickets anyway. I'm going, but I just want you to know, I really did try hard not to buy these tickets, but I clearly failed. So here we are. And then for savings, like I said, we are going to save a ton because it was a good month for YouTube and all that. You might hear a lot of creators saying that. That is because November and December is normally when sponsorships and all that normally pick up, just any kind of opportunity to make extra money, affiliate marketing, that type of thing. So I had a good month. I really didn't have a good month in December. I think it was November when I had a good month, but I was paid for that, for what I did via Brand Connect in January this month. So it was pretty good. Like I said, my husband got his bonus. We did pretty good with our finances. I'm really proud of us, but that's what we did with our money. Let's actually recap the month of January. I am here with my iPad per usual, and we're just going to talk about, what transpired in the month of January. Slightly different view, but that's just because I scooted over a little bit. So 4 highs. One of my older friends, basically we used to work together and we became friends. She had maybe 58th birthday. I had no clue how old she was. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think she had a 58th birthday party. So that was very fun, just going, because we always have a good time when we're together. She's very much life of the party kind of thing. So that was like our intro to January. Another high was my bestie's birthday weekend. We had a time. Oh my gosh. I think we went to like 10 bars. We went to a speakeasy. I got to hang out with 4 of my nieces, my sister, my best friend, my cousin, all of that. I got Lil Wayne concert tickets. That's truly a high. And then this past weekend with my husband was top tier. Everything that I could have wanted or dreamt of. It was amazing. Another high that I want to add on here is that I think we did good with our budget. So I'm going to add that on here. Sticking to our budget, or just being mindful with our spending. So we just weren't out here just buying whatever. We were really I'm going to put intentional spending. That's what we were doing in January. We were not out here acting a fool. We were very mindful about our purchases, talking them over, not just purchasing anything all willy-nilly. So I'm adding that to my list of highs. Another high is that it was basically 80 degree weather the other day, which is crazy for January, but I guess that's just how things work here in Georgia. So it was every bit of 80 degrees. I came home from work, got my dog, loaded her up. We went to the park and got probably 3 miles in, we were living it up. Lows include a cracked windshield. I had a crack in my windshield that I got repaired years ago, so it's just been chilling for years, a small crack. Well, when I went out of town, I guess the single digit weather, it was, I don't know, 7 degrees, 6 degrees or whatever, plus the snow and all that, it basically caused my windshield to crack. So now the crack is 5 times as big as the original crack. And I did a lot of research, and apparently that is really common. And what's also common is that if you have a crack in your windshield, you can basically just count down the days until the crack gets worse. But if you go to temperatures that are really cold or really hot and that your vehicle might not be used to, then you can expect that the crack might further split. So we have a cracked windshield. That's annoying. I also dropped my iPhone and I picked it up. I thought nothing was wrong with it, but there's actually a crack on the back. I'm not pressed about that. It's just gonna have to be what it is. Also, my stomach was hurting last week and I was a little bit irritated, but today I'm thriving and feeling much better. So that makes me appreciate, I don't know, sometimes the lows really make me appreciate the highs. And then of course I got the speeding ticket, so that was kind of annoying. Oh, and the which that's not really a low, but the having to get the front brake pads and rear brake pads replaced, it was just an annoyance, but it wasn't really a low because that's normal wear and tear, and so you got to get that stuff replaced eventually. Some lessons that I learned include going from luxury to minimal is actually hard. I would say that last year we lived a more luxurious spending lifestyle, and now we are trying to do the opposite. And so in the beginning, that first week or so, it was actually way more difficult than I ever thought, but we've kind of gotten it together. But I don't know, extend yourself some grace if you're getting on a budget or trying to tighten up your spending, because it could be a little difficult. Doesn't mean you have to give up, but it could be way more difficult than what you ever imagined. And then another lesson that I learned is that how others show gratitude varies. This lesson kind of came up for me because it wasn't something I was going through myself, but I think I was talking to somebody about it, and it was just an interesting thing that I had learned or paid attention to, which is that I might say thank you, and that's how I show my gratitude, or I might hug someone, or there's things that I might do, but another person might be just as grateful on the inside, but they may not demonstrate it or show it in the same way that someone else might. Kind of like love languages. Another lesson that I learned is all about windshields. I feel like I am a windshield expert. So if you have any questions about a windshield, you can ask me. No, but really I had to do a lot of research, especially to make sure I wasn't getting played, because I went through a very reputable windshield company to get my first quote, and their quote was absolutely insane. And I thought, there's no way that this costs this much and this is the going rate. So I kept getting quotes and estimates, and then the other people, the smaller companies, were really keeping it real with me about why the other quotes were more expensive. I also learned that I am very outgoing. I'm a social butterfly, life of the party, all of that. That's my vibe. But I'm also equally as reserved and, I guess, private, if you will. And I really just mind my business. So I can go from a party where I'm outgoing, talking to people, social butterfly, extrovert, all of that, to come home and it's not that I am then the opposite of those things, but I very much could mind my business for a month straight. And like, I don't know, it's just a thing that happens with me, which I think can be a little bit confusing for some people, because I guess if you're very extroverted, in people's faces, if you will, doing all of that, then they might expect maybe you would keep that same energy at all times. But I don't really keep that same energy at all times. I can be that person, and then I'm like, okay, I'm about to go, and then that person might not hear from me for like a month or 2 months or whatever. I don't know. It's just a thing. That's just something that I realize about myself. Not to say it's good or bad. It's just something that I realize. And then also, I feel as though a lesson that came to me in January is that sometimes you have to separate to elevate. Sometimes you cannot reach your full potential for a number of reasons when you are in the mix with other things and people. So sometimes you got to isolate maybe I should say, isolate or separate to elevate in different ways. And so that's just something that came to me in January. For my favorites, I got a pair of sneakers, a pair of New Balances. They are 530. I think they are in sea salt. Is that the word? I also found what I am calling my 2024 uniform. I am a financial social worker, and me and 3 of my colleagues have launched the Financial Social Work Collaborative. We started HelloFresh this month, and we've been loving cooking the HelloFresh meals and not having to grocery shop in that way. Another favorite was giving and donating. Loved all the birthday celebrations, also the birthday planning. And then we watched Snoop Dogg's movie Underdogs. It was hilarious. And then I went to a D-Stash bash for the planner and crafter group that I'm in. Somehow I forgot to show y'all my mood board for January, so let me do that. This is me in my 2024 uniform, or one of the variations of it. This is basically what the goal is. This is what some of my inspiration was. That was from the party when my friend turned 58. This is the Social Work Collaborative, Financial Social Work Collaborative logo. I saw my cousin this month and we went to a basketball game. Those are my New Balances. I stayed in a nice hotel. That's my doggy. My husband got braids. I thought that was funny. That's my cousin. That's one of my friends, my childhood friends. And that was my cozy desk vibes, and lots of cuddles with my husband in January. So I don't capture a lot of moments, but the ones that I did capture, thankfully, I was able to incorporate them into my January mood board. I want to get better with pictures. Obviously, I take a decent amount, but I'm really prompted to do so now that I'm creating these mood boards. Otherwise, I probably would have no photos from any given month in my phone, but I've been trying to do better since I've been doing these mood boards. But this is my January 2024 mood board. Okay, so it's now time to check in with our January goals. I always feel like I'm really close to the camera, but then I see some people's videos, they're even closer than me, and I'm like, wow. All right, so we need to talk about our January goals. And I do want to mention that my January goals and my goals for each month are basically broken down bite-sized goals from my yearly goals. So I set yearly goals talking about, or kind of outlining what I want to accomplish in a year, and then I just break those down into monthly goals. So that ends up meaning that my goals are typically the same from month to month, but let's just see how I did in the month of January. I wanted to take a personal day. I actually did do that. I would say my personal day was, I took a number of them, but especially, let me see what day. And should I be screen recording this? Probably. I would say the 26th was a real good personal day, like just being able to spend time with myself, and me and my dog went to a walk in the park, and then my husband went on to a basketball game, so I got to spend the whole evening doing whatever I wanted. So that was fun. Did do that. I did not read 2 books, but insert book review here. What book did I read this month? We need to go look at my book. Oh, Happy Place by Emily Henry. Oh my God. When I tell you I loved that book, did I rate it? Yeah, I think I gave it a 5-star rating. Yeah, that's how I loved that book. It was fire. Now I'm going to move on to reading Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan. I've already read The Kingmaker and the Rebel King. I think that The Queenmaker is part 3 of that, but I'm not really sure. Don't get me lying, but that's what it seems like. But I'm currently reading that. So technically, I can't say that I met, kind of, sort of, because the goal was to read. No, I didn't meet it because I only read 1 book. For self-care, I wanted to potentially go to the chiropractor, do my nails, schedule OBGYN, and do my toenails. I did not do anything but my nails. Come on, you can do it. This is my Valentine's Day set. So I just wanted to do like a little pink, and then I noticed that I had this glitter, which had like a pink tint to it, so I thought it would look cute. So I can't complete anything from self-care, really. For family, I wanted to clean my doggy car cover, clean the carpet stains, change the air filters, undecorate for Christmas, organize the drawers, declutter planner supplies, change the fridge filter, and change the microwave light. I did one of those things, which is declutter planner supplies. Can't say I achieved that. We did save $2,000, and we did invest 15% of our paychecks. For relationships, I wanted to schedule friend dates, which I did, spend quality time with loved ones, Did. Catch up with a friend. Did. Plan to host family and friends in February. Did, because I'm hosting Galentine's. For career, okay, hear me out. For business, I did not secure a sponsorship. I mean, one is in the works, but even still, it won't technically be for January. I did publish 8 YouTube videos, 4 Instagram reels. I might have 1, 2, 3. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I met that goal. Oh, I was actually in my Instagram bag, low key. And then health. I worked out a million times. Let me see. 21 days to date. So we can say that that is achieved. And those are my January goals. Let's set some goals for February. So I'm taking you along for this. We're just going to duplicate January goals. Okay. And then once it duplicates, we're going to click on it. Oh, I haven't taken you along. Let me screen record. Oh, Lord, fix it, Jesus. I have professional learning. My husband has professional learning. And I feel like that can be a day that I take a personal day, perhaps, afterwards. Because my husband will still be in professional learning. And then he'll probably have basketball, either a game or something immediately after. So technically, I can take up some time with myself that day. I do want to read 2 books. I want to read Queen Move is something that I'm working on. And then there are some books that are already available. Spare by Prince Harry is going to come available to me. Real by Kennedy Ryan is going to come available. Decoded by Jay-Z is going to come available. And then the rest of them have a hold of several weeks. So I am thinking that I might just read Real by Kennedy Ryan and go ahead and work through a few books in her catalog. So that's probably what I'm going to read for February. I do need to start studying. For self-care, do toenails, schedule OBGYN, chiropractor, do nails. That's good. Family, clean dark. Oh, so basically I need to keep everything on here besides declutter planner supplies. We do want to save. I don't think we'll make 2,000 for February. It's looking more like 1,700-ish, 1,800. So I'm going to update that. Invest 15% of our paychecks. Schedule friend dates in the works. It's probably already completed because the friends that I have here who I would hang out with, their birthdays are in February and I'm anticipating hanging with them. So that's kind of already scheduled, but we'll leave it on here. Spend quality time with loved ones. Catch up with a friend. That's always a goal. Plan to host. I think I do want to host in March for maybe St. Patrick's Day. Career, same stuff. Business, same stuff. Health, same stuff. A couple weeks ago, I basically did a quarterly planning session for January, February, and March of this year. And so what I need to do now is see what tasks I need to take over to my February goals. Because if you think about it, a quarter is only 3 months. February is halfway through the quarter. And so I'll need to be working through some things in February if I haven't done so already. That's going to be a February thing. Fix the bathroom shelf and repair siding on patio. And then what's down here? Okay, we're good to go. The last thing that I want to do is I have on my main calendar or my main sheet here, I knew that January goals duplicated twice. That's so annoying. Let's get rid of it. Delete. I was like, what is happening? I have a list of wants, if you will. These are things that they're not really wants. It can be wants or needs. And so I like to purchase one time from Amazon each month. It's just a thing that I like to do. So I'm basically trying to compile a list of things that I want to purchase. So this heart top coat, I want this for my nails. So that's personal. I want some new turtlenecks. Same ones I bought before. I need more colors. I need all the colors. Love them. These ones, actually. I want to purchase those in February. I'm anticipating purchases for February so I can go ahead and make them in my one Amazon purchase that I'm probably going to do at the beginning of the month in a few days, probably. So that's what I'm sitting here trying to do. But I feel like that is a good start. I can't think of anything else. I'm not buying any new makeup. I don't need any new clothes necessarily. Besides, I want those turtlenecks in more colors. But other than that, I can't really think of anything that I want that's on my list. So I will probably make a purchase for those items in a few days. And that'll be that on that. That is going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.